Chris, we switch our attention to FA Cup action on Saturday with a trip to Farnham Town. You've had your first full week here at Sutton United. What's it been like?
Really enjoyable. We've got some really good work done. The players have been great, really positive, and looking forward to obviously a tough challenge in the FA Cup. Obviously Farnham are a good side, had loads of success, and it's going to be a challenge away from home, but as I said, we've prepared as well as we can, and it's been a really positive first 7 days. It's been busy, it's been a whirlwind, but really enjoyable. On
Saturday, you obviously took charge of your first game, away at Braintree Town, a good, strong 0-0 draw. You mentioned playing with fear and anxiety. Do you see tomorrow's maybe a chance to build confidence against a lower league side, a chance to assess the squad strength as a whole?
I think a lot of the work that we would have done this week in terms of clarity around messaging, clarity around how we want to play, no grey areas. It's pretty clear what we want to do. I think that'll help. I think that'll have a bigger impact as opposed to the next opposition. I think reinforcing to the players that they're a very good group. Across the week there's been some really exciting stuff. The type of football that we believe in, which is ultimately the reason that we were brought to the club. So I think that's the biggest influence on shifting that feeling amongst the group. And to be fair, like today we've just trained, and it's probably the best we've been. As I said, some of the football was excellent. So we know it's going to be a tough game, but like going into every game, we want to win. Irrelevant of the level of opposition, we're going in it to win and try and put our game on the opposition, and that's the same whether we're playing a team that's step 3 or a team that's in League 2. If we progress in the competition, so we just want to be on the front foot, we want to be aggressive, we want to play our type of football, and as I said, impress our game on the opposition.
FA Cup weekend, as you said, what does it mean to you to play in such a prestigious competition?
Yeah, it's obviously a competition that had a degree of success in last year. Managed to get to the first round with Worthing, coming through 3 or 4 stages, which was great. Obviously, when I was at Hastings as well, we had a couple of really decent results against high-level opposition. So ultimately, you want to make your mark on the competition. As a manager, as a coaching staff, and as a group of players and a team as a whole. So obviously Sutton's got a rich history in the FA Cup as well, so we'll be trying our best to get as close to that benchmark as possible, and we know that, as I said, we need to deal with Farnham Town first and foremost to, as I said, get one step closer to Sutton's best, if you like, in the competition.
You've already experienced the FA Cup this season with Worthing as well. What was it like heading over to Jersey for that game before obviously beating Wimbledon in the last round?
Well, the away trip to Jersey was horrendous. If I'm being brutally honest, it's flying in one day, and it's just such an outlier in terms of the type of situation that you're faced with. And I don't know about anyone else, but whenever I fly, I always feel like I need a bit of a sleep after it, to be honest, and judging out on how we played, I think a few of the players needed that as well. So, but fortunately we responded really well, drew the game from a losing position, showed real good character, to then get a replay, and obviously I think the home game was Jersey's biggest ever defeat, so responded really well on our home patch. And then at Wimborne, as I said, same league as Farnham, so we appreciate the level. They drew with Farnham in preparation for the Wimborne game. We watched them play Farnham, so we've had plenty of eyes, if you like, on our next opposition. So yeah, it's a competition we're obviously well versed in and got a degree of experience, and just looking forward to trying to make our mark at Sutton United.
And does that experience with what is ultimately the same competition, the same season, does that sort of shape the way you're approaching tomorrow's tie?
I'll be honest, our attitude is the same every game. Like we're going to be on the front foot, we're going to try and win the game. There won't be a game of football that we go into this season where we're thinking about consolidating or being hard to beat. Our attitude is, as I said, let's try and take the game to the opposition. Let's try and play on the front foot. That will be the intention. But equally, if we reflect on the Braintree game, we couldn't do that. But what we did do is we dug in and we scrapped and we fought and defended our box incredibly well. We're a bit of a threat on the counter as well, so we could have got a couple. So worst case, if we can't be on the front foot and be aggressive because our game isn't quite where it needs to be, we still need to be able to put points on the board and grind out results, which is obviously what we've done last week.
And as for the squad, Jack Sims, Jack Wadham, Harry Phipps and Alex Woodyard, a few players who have been out injured in recent weeks. Do you have any sort of update on them?
Yeah, Jack Sims is still unavailable, which is obviously a blow, but I thought David come in last week and done great, and he's only backed out this week on the training pitch, so we've got a more than capable alternative to Sims. And then Alex Woodyard, I think we're a couple of weeks away, so we're itching to get him back because the group needs his experience, needs his leadership. No surprise that when he was available earlier in the season, results reflected his impact. So we're trying to get him out there as fast as possible. Wads, Harry Phipps, they'll be back in and they're available for selection. So a few selection headaches off the back of last week, but good headaches.
And Mo Dabo got another 60 minutes or so against Braintree in his legs. How close is he to being able to complete a full 90 for the first time? I think Mo will run all day, to be fair. I think he could complete 90 plus 100, 120 minutes now, to be fair. So, no issues on Mo in terms of his physical condition. To be honest, the only reason he come off was because we changed shape, just to try and go and win the game or shift the momentum in the game at least. So, Mo's all good. And Dylan De Silva and Ken Critchlow, obviously both unavailable, away on international duty. How important is it for the whole squad to come together and be ready?
Yeah, I mean, it is, you're never going to win anything or achieve anything or progress in any competition or go deep into any competition with just 11 players. So it's an opportunity for others to grab the shirt. I think after last week, it's fair to say that there was a few that didn't, if I'm being brutally honest. And then equally, the players that come on the pitch, David Ogbonna I thought was excellent when he come on. Brandon was great when he come on as well. So there's certainly competition for places, and as we saw last week, if we're not quite where we need to be, we'll need to make changes. So which we obviously done mid-game, and so the whole squad's incredibly important. But it's more from a perspective of we want competition for places, because that competition for me will help drive the level of performance, and equally if they've got the shirt, like the boys along the back line I thought were great last week. As I said, worst case keeping a clean sheet and putting a point on the board and one game unbeaten. That's credit to not just the back three, but they were obviously a big part of that. So they'll be keeping their shirt, and it'll be up to one of the alternatives to try and take it off them.
We've touched on them already, but Farnham Town, they've just won back-to-back promotions. They've got to the best ever run in the competition in their entire history, in front of the BBC cameras as well tomorrow. What test do you expect from them? Well,
they're used to winning. It's just momentum. They've got good players. They've got players that are probably playing below the level that they could be playing at. As I said, we've watched them a lot in preparation for another game. We've watched them even more this week. So we're really respectful of the level of opposition, level of player, their momentum, but equally, like I said, we view it as an opportunity, like every game, to build on the result against Braintree. We'll go into it, as I said, as we should, being 2 leagues above. There's no point trying to say anything other than that we expect to go there and win, but equally we're very respectful of the opposition.
And just finally, at the time of recording, we've nearly sold out our away allocation. You got to meet the fans against Braintree. How important will they be again tomorrow?
Oh, brilliant. I can only sort of reiterate what I said after the game. I thought they were magnificent. On behalf of all the staff, really, we really appreciate the welcome we've had. Like, genuinely, that sounds a bit of a cliche, but it feels like home. It reminds me of the first club that I managed, Hastings United. Sutton United is obviously a far bigger club, and It's basically Hastings United on steroids, and I mean that in the most positive sense possible, because when I reflect on my experience as a manager, I probably had my most enjoyable moments there. It felt like home. It was where I started. So within a week here, we've really enjoyed our time. We've been made to feel incredibly welcome, and the supporters were superb. The thing that I liked about the supporters on Saturday is we weren't great, but we felt their support to get through the game and will us over the line. I mean, anyone can support when you're winning 3-0, but I think a measure of your support is what they're like when you're in a bit of a rut and you need to dig yourself out of a hole. And I thought they were brilliant, and we really appreciate it. And as I said, we will be working, and we have worked incredibly hard, and we'll continue to get a team out there on the pitch which they can be proud of, that they can connect with even further, and ultimately we can win together.
And this week you've also added Dean Hammond to your backroom staff. Could I just get a word on him as well?
He's brilliant. As I said when we spoke, there's not two people I'd rather have as assistant manager and first team coach than him and BC. I trust them completely. They're both incredibly capable. They're both the right type of character. And I think they're a brilliant addition to already the incredibly strong staff that's at the football club. Again, a thank you to the staff, the existing staff. I know it's difficult in a time of transition to obviously welcome new faces, but they've been brilliant, made us feel welcome, and I think with Dean coming in and BC, we've got ourselves a great backroom team, and obviously Dino's Dino. Obviously you'll get to know him, but he's incredibly humble. You wouldn't, if you just spoke to him, you wouldn't know what he's done in the game, which again is a reflection of his character and how down to earth he is. But he's as a player, he's played at the top, and I know he wants to do that as a coach, assistant manager. So he's a massive addition, and I'm delighted to be working with him again.
Cheers, Chris.
Thank you. All right.